You might notice I'm in the kitchen this time. Well, why am I in the kitchen? Well, let me tell you this. Do you remember the long summer days and coming home to your babushka's house and smelling the fresh, succulent smell of kompot? Well, those days are going to come right back to you right now, today, yay. Because I'm going to show you how to make babushkas kompot, right here. Alright, so first, we start off with the ingredients. First, we start off with a big pot. That's basic thing, you know, put all your kompot in. Then you need some fruit. This is all I could find in my house today. So we're going to be making strawberry and apple and +1 plum kompot. Oh yeah, here we go. We also need some sugar. I don't know how much sugar we'll need, but you need some sugar to put in the kompot to make it taste sweet and awesome. So, first things first, we need to cut these apples up and then we need to wash all the fruit. So when you get the apples, it doesn't really matter if you get different kinds. I think it's good to have different kinds just to, you know, change up the flavor just a little bit. Of course, take the stickers off. We don't need these Western spies in here. Okay. So you cut the apple open, cut it in half, boom. I would suggest cutting it in half again. Boom. Do not take the skin off. The skin helps add to the flavor. You are going to want to, however, in my opinion, this is how I do it, take the inside out, because the inside is just full of nasty stuff that is, like, doesn't really add, like, it can get into the kompot and make it not as enjoyable. Of course, trying to waste as little apple as possible when cutting these apples open, because we do not have a lot to work with here, but we want to have maximum flavor. Honestly, I think this has started to go a little bad, but it's okay. The heat will, yeah. And once you have made a monument to babushka's cooking, it's time to go rinse them off. If you have one of these little strainer things to make it easier, then by all means use it. And then, you know, we can just might as well. Oh, I forgot. We need to do something to these strawberries before we do that. Cut, wait. And then onto the strawberries, you need to just cut off all these nasty stems because we don't want them floating around in your kompot either. But again, try to take the minimal amount off as possible. So, after you finally managed to make a monument to babushka, and have made a mess only you can make, you will proceed to go wash them and rinse them off. So we're going to go over to this dirty sink, if you just ignore the mess. We're just going to give it a nice rinse to get any chemicals out that might still be in there, you know. I mean, I don't know. I'm just making stuff up at this point, you know. Just to make sure they're pretty clean. That looks good enough. Now, get like a towel or something, just because it's going to be wet. We're back over here. So now, what we're going to have to do, I believe with the pot, is find the biggest heating surface. It'll be this one. This is going to be the biggest heating surface, excuse me. What we're going to do with this pot is we're going to fill it up with water. I think we fill it up with water first. At least that's what I'm going to do. So we go over here, fill it up with some nice water. Of course, you have to make sure the pot has been rinsed and washed out already. That might be actually too much because of all the fruit we have. But we do want to make babushkas kompot. I don't know. We'll see. We're going to transfer it back over here. And I know this is a lot of fruit to be putting in here. Of course, it's not that many. It's really just 2 fruit plus a plum. But it's going to be a pretty strong kompot. So, oh yeah, there we go. You see that? You see all that right there? We can even cut this up even more if we want, but I think that's pretty good. I don't know if we want to add any more to this now. But what we're going to go ahead and do is put this, I'm just going to put this on high just to start heating up the surface. We're going to, probably in the meantime, we're going to clean up a little bit of the mess. And we are going to just kind of let this sit for a minute and let it heat up. And let, you know, the water start to heat up. So we got a nice area for all of this kompot to be made. Now, before we started this, I should have added in, you might also want a wooden spoon. Wooden spoon is always best when you're cooking. But once the water starts heating up, you're going to want to mix it every so often. Now, it hasn't heated up enough, but as you can see, steam is starting to come off. So you're going to want to continuously mix it as soon as it starts getting to like about the boiling point. Then you're probably going to want to turn down the heat a little bit. This has been after about 5 to 10 minutes. The water has finally heated up. You might want to preheat your water too, which might make it easier, but I can already feel that the fruit is getting a little bit more soft, which means that everything's going to be kind of releasing into the water, and the kompot can start. So pretty much you just do this until you get to a point where you're going to have to add in the sugar. Now, as we can see that this kompot has started to come to a nice slow boil, we have to continue to mix it. Actually, I can bring a strawberry out here just to show you that it is starting to get really soft. You can see that, it's actually hot, but you can see everything is getting really soft in here. So obviously continue to mix it, and your water should start to, after a while, to take on a more of a reddish kind of color, or a tint to it, which actually, if you smell it, you can even smell slight hints of the fruit. And as I'm saying this, I can even see the water starting to take on a reddish, I don't know, like a different color, obviously. So obviously just continue to kind of let this boil for a while. It's going to be actually a little while. I would suggest maybe about 25 minutes. I'm not really too sure about this. Honestly, this is the first time making it, but as a true Slav, I should know how to be this is made. So I'm just going to continue to monitor this, and I'll update you guys when it's ready to be updated. Now, what I've started to do actually is I noticed that the kompot is, of course, this is a very high boil, but I'm just going to leave it at this for now. But the apples were a little bit too big for my liking, and in order to release the flavor more and kind of get this party started a little faster, I started cutting them in half. So you see how easily that cut in half. I cut most of them. I think all of them I could find in half, if not into even more pieces, just to help with the whole process. These strawberries are so soft. I'm going to go ahead and dial this down just a little bit so we don't have overflowage here. But as you can see, you can even see the color of the kompot. Look, it's taking on like a red, nice fruity look to it. So, and if you don't know what kompot is, this is commonly, it's a really big Slav or European kind of drink that you do, especially in Poland, and I think also in Russia too, but and obviously other Slavic countries. But kompot is very big, and it's often, drunk, whatever, year round. But I know specifically during the holidays, it can get a little bit more popular in other places too. Basically, it's a homemade juice out of a bunch of fruits and sugar and just water. And it's probably, some of the best stuff you can get. Now, what I heard you want to also do is kind of take some of this, these bubbles off too, but I'll get to that later. I don't know if I'll do that or not, but if you want to, feel free to take the bubbles off, but do not take the fruits out. And the good thing about kompot is you can actually eat the fruits, so I'll get to that a little bit later, but you can definitely just eat all of these fruits. So it's like a win-win. You drink the awesome succulent nectar that these fruits produce, and then you can eat the fruits. I'll get to the rest of it later on, but I think it's about time to start adding some sugar here in a minute, because of course we don't want to add the sugar until most of the juices have been, oh yeah, this is such, look at this. Just look at, I mean, obviously you can't really see it in the spoon, but after I start adding the sugar, that's when the taste testing really begins. I think it's about ready for sugarization. So it's been about 30 minutes, I would say. I'm not sure, I haven't really been taking too close of a look at a clock, but I would say anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes. Excuse me. 25 to 30 minutes, and it's about time to add the sugar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and introduce the sugar into the party. And pretty much you just add a bunch of sugar into there, and you just taste test it every once in a while when you think it's about ready. So here goes nothing. Now this is the sugar I'm adding into here. I think it's just like cane sugar. That's what it is. Yeah, just cane sugar, Florida crystals. So you want to add a good amount of sugar. I'm not even measuring. I'm just kind of going to be doing this by sight. Now that right there was an insane amount of sugar. So again, we're going to go ahead and mix this in and into the mix. And hopefully I can, oh, this smell. Oh yeah, this smell is magnificent. I can smell it. You can see that the dark color that it's taking on, if you can actually see that. See that dark color? Just right there. You can see it's like a dark color it's starting to take on. If I can move some of these fruit out of the way. Look at that dark color. Oh, that's the color you want to see in your kompot right there. That is kompot. That's good. Like, that is so soft. I'm going to go ahead and actually turn this down even more, just because I don't want to destroy, well, I think I've actually already destroyed the strawberries. We still need to get a little bit out of the apples. The apples haven't been participating enough in here. That's why I cut them up. I'll update you guys when I've done a little bit of taste testing. Wake up. Alright. So as you can see, there's almost no color left in most of these strawberries. I don't want to spend too much time investigating that, but look, I'm going to go ahead and start taste testing now to see, now that obviously the sugar has already made its way into the whole mix, I'm going to start taste testing it and see how it tastes like. You only need a little bit, about that much. That should be more than enough to taste test. You gotta blow it, you go. Let it cool off for a second, because I am very sensitive to hot things. I cannot handle anything that is above like 80 degrees. It just burns my mouth. Oh, that actually tastes good. That tastes good. But I think we can get a little sweeter. We'll take another test. We got to taste it again. Got to taste it again. I'm still not too confident with my tasting skills. You take another little sample here. And we might need a metal spoon for this too. So now we expertly take out our ladle that I told you to have all along. Of course I did. We take our beautiful kompot off of the stove. We take the beautiful kompot off the stove, and you just look at this masterpiece we've created. Okay. Now, what I like to do is just simply scoop. That's more than enough fruit. I just need to get some of those juices in there. As a matter of fact, I might have put way too much fruit in here, but that's okay. And that's pretty much kompot for you. Yeah, I think I did put a good amount of juices in there, but that's kompot. That's what kompot should look like. In my eyes, after taste testing it, I think that's a beautiful example of kompot. Now, it is hot. I've only let it cool for a second, so I'm going to put that to the side. I'm going to fill up another one, and then we're going to do some taste testing. Ow. Burn my foot. Oh, that's good. It tastes like tea almost. I mean, that looks like tea almost. At least to the European eye it does. It tastes like raspberry tea, but it's a juice, and it tastes marvelous. I like it. I think this is about good. I'm not going to put more sugar in it. I don't want to over sugarize everyone. And, I mean, this is Europe. We are trying to make this a European recipe, not an American recipe, by the way. So I think that's going to be about good. I'm going to let it simmer on low. I'm going to let it simmer on low for a little bit. So I brought the temperature down. And yeah, I think these are, you know, honestly, these might even be past the point of where they should be. So I don't know. I might have not done this correctly. But the thing about kompot is you can have it cold or hot or however you want it. I prefer to keep the fruits in. Some people take the fruits out. I would not recommend doing that. Why would you waste such good fruits? So I'm going to go ahead and let this simmer for a second and get some cups ready and taste test it. Probably cold and then maybe even hot. So I've poured the kompot out into 3 different jars, and as you can see here, we have one that's supposed to be kind of cold. You can drink it cold. I have ice cubes in here, and we can just assume that it's cold. It is chilly compared to the other ones. You can drink it cold. Or which one's cooler? I don't know. Both of these are still hot because, of course, I just got finished making these. But this can be drinking just cold like this, and then it can also be drinking hot. Of course, you can see steam coming off of both, but it can be drinking cold with or without fruit. It can be drinking hot, I'll drink it with fruit, but you can also drink it without fruit. But those kind of this basic things. This almost looks like a pink lemonade. I'm gonna go ahead and actually test this out, just to see how good it actually is, because my taste tests might have been wrong. Okay, it does taste. It tastes pretty good. I'm just getting a little confused here because I've got the ice still on the top, and basically the temperature is a little messing me up a little bit, but it's still good. I don't know if I can taste these yet because these are still extremely hot. I'm gonna go ahead and try to taste this one. Yeah, it's definitely good. It tastes great. I like it. Now, of course, you can make a pot like this, and of course you can still eat the fruits, and you can have this for a friend. You can make bigger pots, you can make smaller pots, whatever you want. And you can always put this in the refrigerator, and like you can have it, serve it in a pitcher, you can serve it at a party, whatever you want. But I think it's a great little meal, not a meal, but it's a great drink to have, and I think it's a great thing that the European people have done, so, or the Slavic people, I don't know, I like it. It's a great thing. It's not as, it's healthier than just a normal juice, and it's homemade. So that's it with Cooking with Lucas. And remember, never stop cooking.